I lost two big pieces of my childhood this month. So, as an adult, I realized that I have to be there for my inner child. So, let's talk about it. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Brandon Aries, and welcome to the Sanctuary. When I was a kid, there were always three things I would have on TV. There was obviously Spider-Man the Animated Series, Batman the Animated Series, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And just in this month, I lost two of those. The first loss was the voice of the Caped Crusader himself, Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy was the voice of Batman for over 30 years. Kevin Conroy was my definitive Batman. For me, it started with hearing him as Batman in the animated series, which then followed into one of my favorite animated shows of all time, as he was Old Man Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond. Then from that moment on, I heard his voice in movies like Mask of the Phantasm, Return of the Joker, shows like Justice League Unlimited, and even the Arkham games. All things that Kevin Conroy's voice gave people impact to. I remember when I saw the news on my phone, I felt my heart kind of drop a little bit. There was also this chipping feeling, like a piece of my heart was slowly chipping away. I immediately thought back to my first Comic-Con back in 2015 with my best friend Dan. The first place we went was the autograph booth, and that was to meet no other than Kevin Conroy. Here's the best part about this story. We were online, just getting all excited and waiting to see and meet him for the first time. There was a kid a little further in front of us, and he had asked Kevin Conroy to say the iconic words.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
He got up, stood on the table, and started yelling in front of everybody. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Everyone online, including Dan and I, started cheering. We were going crazy. We were like, oh, he said it. And when we met him, he was such a genuine and down-to-earth human being. Taking pictures with him were accepted with such humility and appreciation of the impact that he had on his fans. You can see just how passionate he was for the character and how grateful all the opportunities it gave him, and especially all of the people that he brought together over the years as the Dark Knight. I'm sure many people in the comic book community agree with me when I say that I was devastated, especially with someone you feel like you grew up with. Like, yes, Christian Bale may be the best live action Batman, but Kevin Conroy is still, to this day, my definitive Batman. Rest in peace to the late, great Kevin Conroy. You will forever be missed, and your voice will continue to impact others as it has impacted myself and so many others across the world. This past Sunday, I was getting ready for work, and I decided to scroll on Instagram for a little bit. And I saw this one post that said RIP JDF with a picture of the Green Power Ranger. And I saw that and I thought to myself, there is no way that the Green Ranger passed away. The curious person I am, I go on Google and I search Jason David Frank on Google News. And there were reports from an hour ago presenting the unfortunate truth. Jason David Frank has passed away. Again, my heart sank and chipped, and I felt another piece of my childhood slowly slip away. My inner child was hurt yet again. For those of you who may not know who Jason David Frank is, allow me to tell you. Jason David Frank was the very first Green Ranger in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers show, which later on he then turned into the White Ranger, and then many more Rangers after that. Jason David Frank was probably the biggest star and the most loved actor in the Power Rangers community. His character Tommy Oliver was a fan favorite from the start. I remember he was one of the main reasons why I continued to watch the other Power Rangers, and it was because of him. Then years ago, oh God, this is going back like over 10 years, which is crazy. I was so happy to see him come back and as the Black Ranger. It was just such a nostalgia trip for me. What? Tommy Oliver is back? This is insane. Even many years after he hasn't been a Ranger, he still came back for a reunion. He was still loved by the Power Rangers fan base, and he loved them back. Jason David Frank was always one of those people I wish I had met, because man, was he passionate about that character and how significant all of his fans meant to him. What breaks my heart most about this loss was that it was confirmed to be a suicide. Not only was it a suicide, but it was a suicide in November. And as I've spoken about on this channel before, November is Men's Mental Health Month. It's such a tragic and terrible way to lose someone. However, it reminds us to keep those we care about in our minds and in our hearts. If there's someone you feel like you haven't checked on in a while, reach out to them. You never know what could be going on. Know that you're cared about by people who love you, who support you, and want nothing more than for you to be happy. Rest in peace to Jason David Frank. You will forever be missed, Green Ranger.